And then we actually are delivering a significantly upgraded feature that for those of you that are doing stuff with higher education and healthcare, you may find of some value. Mount Sinai had us do some custom work for them, so what we did is, since they partially funded some improvement on this, instead of just doing a week's worth of work that we contracted with them, we did almost 3 weeks worth of work to set the stage for what potentially has the opportunity to be much more extensive. What am I talking about? What I'm talking about is our allocation breakdown. So let's go to space real quick. Everyone, I'm assuming, is seeing my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So we've had this allocation breakdown thing, which was kind of a down and dirty way of us breaking down allocations even further into their function and use. So this space is allocated equally amongst, several different cost centers. Let me open something up here and we'll take a look at the breakdown. Previously on the breakdown, you had, hey, here's my actual allocation, and I can change the percentage. And then we had a contacts tab here, which has now gone away because we broke it down far more granular in this breakdown tab. So if we take a look at the grid, we can now identify a principal investigator, a specific grant, the breakdown function, the category, the breakdown function, the use, the breakdown percent, and is this room, whether it's, the room may be a wet lab, but some research that happens in wet labs is not designated as wet lab research, so you do have the ability to designate what the research is. So this dialog is now a little bit more robust in here. And so you can break down, you can set the principal investigator, you can set a grant if you want to use it. Mount Sinai isn't even using the grant, they're just doing the principal investigator and these other percentages. So you can identify those things here. Once you identify those things there, and I'll just break that out equally. Once you identify those things here, what we've done is now brought this into reporting, where we now have a tab that is specific to reporting on these allocation breakdowns. So all of your allocation breakdowns show here. I don't have a whole lot of spaces. Obviously, in some cases, they're going to have many more. Principal investigator, property building floor, the space ID, the grant name, the breakdown category, the breakdown function, the use, the percentage of the breakdown, the area being used by that particular grant in that space. Is it a wet lab or not? The cost center, which is directly pulled from the space and the breakdown that this, or the allocation that this is assigned to. The percentage of the allocation, so physical plant has 25% of this space, and this grant has 50% of that 25%, therefore it has 41 square feet. The allocation area, space name.
What's the allocation area?
What's that?
What's the allocation area versus the breakdown area?
So there's 3 areas. The total area of the space is 333 square feet. The cost center has 25% of that, or yeah, I think it's 20. So therefore, no, that's the the cost center has 25% of that. This number is wrong.
Oh, right, so that's the allocation area.
That's the allocation area, and then the breakdown has 50% of that 83. Therefore, its actual area is this. So you have all the numbers to work with.
Okay.
The point behind this is we're providing a data source where now you can create reports for your customers. The one thing that we did do here for reporting is we have created a theming piece for drawings for this. So I can come in here and I can identify, just like we do with the other stuff, but a little bit different. I want to theme by principal investigator, and I can create labels that are specific to this particular breakdown, so I can manage so you cannot apply these themes in the drawing viewer. You can only apply them here in the reports. So we do give you the ability to manage labels from here. What are the labels going to look like when they show up in there? We also give you the ability to manage colors in here. So once you've actually created things, you can actually manage the colors in here as well that show up on the report. So I'm going to go ahead and theme by principal investigator, and I'll just kind of leave this as it is for now. It's
Can you change that label for wet lab to something else? So if you're dealing with a different type of client,
you can change it to whatever you want to change it to.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Bob, somebody needs to come in.
Yeah,
oh, you got him. Here.
Oh, yay! Chrome fixed their defect from the other day. So Chrome had a major defect. I was showing this to Jimmy as we released it. In the morning, I was showing the reports. When I actually went to show Jimmy, all I got here was a gray screen, and come to find out it was a Google issue. So here you go. Here's the report that is now themed by principal investigator, and Jimmy's situation is a little bit unique in that he wanted to see not just the principal investigators, and I'll actually illustrate this more clearly in another, I'll filter this out and we'll show you what we mean. But here's our principal investigators, the space that they occupy on that floor. You can see it's done proportionally, so this room, half of it's not even used for research. The other half is, and it's split between two principal investigators for research. Let me do a filter here on this. So we're going to go ahead and filter this, and let's just do, I just want to see James. And we'll open up that report again. And that report opens up again, and you'll see I filtered for James, but we actually end up with two pieces in the legend. Why is that? Well, this is specific to what Mount Sinai, what Jimmy wanted to see, which was, hey, when I do a theme, I want to see all the spaces assigned to a principal investigator, but I also want to see all of the shared spaces. So this particular space right here is actually shared among the PIs. So they had some very specific criteria, so we were able to kind of show that. And once again, if we come down here and see this, you'll see that this principal investigator owns a portion of these two rooms, 25% of each of those rooms. But in simplest terms, this will gather all the information that you need for that in one place, gives you the ability to theme drawings based on those things, and then obviously you can create all the reports you want. We actually have a reporting view that delivers all of this information. So if you want to create a custom report, there's a view we can point you to, and you can have at it and create a report that does anything and everything you want it to do. Questions, comments?
On the flawed shared, if you don't have flawed shared, it would just theme by the principal investigator?
That's correct. It's very specific. You would have to have a PI called floored shared for it to show you what was being shown here. So if you, and we did it that way so that it'll be bypassed for everyone else.
Okay, correct.
So it'll only theme by PI. If you have a PI called floor shared and you assign them to a space, then when you filter down for a specific investigator, it would give you the investigator and the floor shared.
That's awesome. Looks great, Bob.
Thank you. Thank you.